Tomorrow must you be my son. No, that's not.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Level With You show. My name is Wiley Olmstead, and this week I am joined by the Do-Artistic one, Anthony Duart.
Hey.
The Phantom producer himself, on camera for once.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
You got some new frames, I see.
I know, these are my blue light glasses. I've been wearing them so I don't get headaches.
So they've been working out for you?
I just wore them today for like the first time all day. But so far, so good.
So what's
I
up with...
had a really bad headache for like 5 hours yesterday.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
the worst.
From just looking at too many screens?
I don't know. I think it was a combination of not eating and being tired and looking at too many screens.
Gotcha. So our usual third chair here, Kenny Castro, is out sick. Hope he gets better soon, and hope he's tuning in live. And
Drinking too many Coronas.
Wow, Kenny, you must really be sick. You got a lot whiter. You should go to the doctor.
Look a little pale.
Look a little pale.
I'm worried about the weight loss.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you want to know? The Corona diet? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Kenny. I hope you feel better soon. I miss you. Love you.
Yeah, for real. But so you and Kenny have just adopted this new glasses thing due to headaches.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
good
mean,
for
I
headaches too.
really have no idea what. I think my headache was more due to lack of sleep and not eating.
Gotcha. You got to do those
Give it a
things.
try. I know.
It's true. I should know. I don't do enough of them. I get
Yeah.
headaches all the time.
I get them, I guess, more frequently than most people. I go through about a 500 thing of ibuprofen every year and a half.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of which, I got to stop at CVS and get more Advil because I just used a bunch of it up.
Yeah. Word. Well, if you are tuning in live on Twitch, which we do every evening every Tuesday evening at around 6:30 o'clock, thank you so much. You can also catch the following day on youtube.com/levelwithyou. We are getting very close to 200 subscribers on Twitch as well as on YouTube. Which will we get to first? We don't really have a preference, but if you could
decide.
Yes, you decide. So yeah, that would be great. You can also find us audio-only versions on whatever podcast service you use. If you want to hear us somewhere that we are not, let us know, and we will make it happen. All right, guys. So lately, we've been kind of diving right into the news. They've been big, meaty shows, a lot of stuff going on, and I felt like maybe a little bit something was missing. We weren't just kind of doing a little bit of bullshitting like we used to.
My favorite part.
It's your favorite part, Anthony.
Oh, yeah.
It's madness.
Yeah. So what's going on in the world of Duart?
I got sick.
You got sick.
I got a bad cold on Saturday. I like felt it coming. Like we were playing Smash Bros online, have a couple drinks on Friday night, and I could feel myself during the day on Friday. And then you get out, we wake up all achy, and then I was all dry. And I was just getting stuffed up when we were playing. I'm like, ugh.
Ooh.
We're playing on the microphone. I felt bad for Wiley because on the other end he's probably just listening to like. And I'm like, trying to drink a beer and breathe at the same time, and it wasn't working.
I thought you were just doing drugs.
Yeah, no, you're like, dude, you're just like, what are you doing? I'm like, I wish, man. I wish I had some stuff to put in my nose, but can't even smell. That's the worst.
Well, it's going around the crew because I think you gave it to Kenny as much as you wish you didn't.
I know, I really wish I didn't, but I thought it was funny because when I showed up for the crew battle on Saturday, and I was like, hey guys, what's up? And I was like, oh, Kenny came for the nice big hug. Like, I always give hugs because I give hugs when I see people. And I was like, oh, wait. I was like, Kenny, I'm really sick today. I woke up really sick. I don't want to get you sick. And he's just like, nah, man, I got an iron immune system. Sorry.
You did this to yourself.
You must have let it out in the rain. He's got rusted. Got to get the non-rust diet.
How about Yuki?
Yeah. Oh, it was bad.
I think Elena's on the border right now. She usually has a few colds per season, so
A few.
yeah. I mean, poor girl's got a little bit of a weak immune system, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's okay. I mean, vitamin C. I also heard recently you're not really supposed to take vitamin C because you're not supposed to take it. It helps produce kidney stones inside you.
Really? Well, we don't want those.
Yeah, build up a calcium.
That's like one of my top
calcium.
5 fears.
Oh, same. It's bad. I don't want anything coming in. I mainly don't want a lot. Well, mainly anything coming in, but I especially don't want sharp things going out.
Yeah,
that would not
yeah.
be fun. I mean, it doesn't look fun, but
Seriously.
I have a kidney stone story if you want to hear it.
From your dad?
Yeah, it's a good it's a coming of age almost. It's every time when I'm growing up, this is the coming of age part. Every couple of years or so, I would be like hanging out playing say like I'm a little boy playing Nintendo 64 or something or PlayStation 1. Tie it back into the video game theme of the podcast.
Thank you.
I'd hear from upstairs. My dad would be like, "Hey, Anthony." I'm like, "Yeah, Dad. what's up? And he's like, hey, come here, I gotta show you something. I'm like, uh-oh, what did I do? So I'd go upstairs, and he'd be in the bathroom upstairs, and he'd be like, hey, take a look at this. And he'd show me this big, sharp, spiky stone. And I'm like, Dad, what is that? It looks like a really hard booger. And he's like, it's a kidney stone.
Oh, my God.
I was like, what? And he's just like, yeah, that came out of me. And I was like, where? And he goes... And I was
he
like,
just looked down for audio listeners.
Down there.
Wow.
No, that's I totally can agree with you. I'm not.
He's in relatively good spirits compared to most people.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, he was pretty good about it. Like, I mean, it was out too, so I wasn't just like stuck there.
Oh, yeah, right.
You know, you have to get that machine that like.
Imagine when it's out, it's very relieving.
Oh yeah, it's like holy shit.
I think my dad had one when I was a kid, and I just remember one night him being up at like me going to the bathroom or something, and him watching TV, just like zoning out, looking disturbed.
He's trying to go Super Saiyan. He's trying to go fuck out of me.
Yeah, exactly. So that's part of the reason I've always been particularly squeamish. Like, I don't know.
No, dude.
Let's move on.
I don't blame you, man. It's spooky. It's scary. It's a real threat. But as long as you get enough water, you should be okay.
Okay, good to know. What about you, Tyler? What's going on? You've been staying healthy, staying busy.
So far, knock on wood. Don't jinx it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, staying healthy. Cooking food, and I don't know.
You made some good chili the other night.
You did? That was real good.
Chili. About a week ago, me and Kayla made some kung pao cauliflower. That was pretty good.
Right, on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, we did. I think we're actually gonna make like a big portion of that to bring to one of our friends who happens to be a vegetarian. She's having a birthday party.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So I think we're gonna make like a lot more of that to bring. What else? Tournament planning, business stuff. I don't know, nothing too crazy and exciting.
Gotcha. We should mention the tournament, which we are hosting April 2nd. You can register at smash.gg/level LVL focus. We've still got plenty of room for contestants. If you are into Smash Brothers, it is a all skills level type of thing. Don't feel intimidated. We want it to be accessible and fun thing for all Smash players. But
there'll be raffle prizes.
There'll be raffle prizes. Even if you suck, you could still come in dead last, get 3 stocked on the first round, and leave with a cool amiibo.
Your opponent could disrespect you. You playing K Rool, you know, and you get it when he gets you 2 stocks, and then you finally get his 1, and then he kills himself to even it up, and you know. It's fine. Then he KOs you. I'm not upset about it or anything. It's fun. It's fun. You should come. It's gonna be a good time.
What Anthony is referring to, and maybe we should just get into this now since we are on the subject. We had a crew battle against Studio 149, a fellow podcast in the Bronx, New York City. We had and what a crew battle is why don't you explain the rules, Tyler? Because you explained them to me firsthand.
Right, crew battle, super easy. Listen up.
First, make a diss track. Make a diss track. Second, the other person responds to you with a better diss track.
Even more important.
And then this next step comes.
Crew battle. Here we go. We had a team of 4. So essentially, everyone works together on a team. One person fights another single person, and they take out whoever takes out their stocks first wins. But say Anthony's on the other team. I'm fighting Anthony. And I beat Anthony, but I only have 1 stock left when I beat him. I then move on to fight the next opponent on the opposing team. They start out with 3 stocks, and I have to SD down to 1. And then it essentially just keeps on going like that until all of one team is eliminated. Yes. So essentially, if you have one good player that can take out a lot of people, I mean, you could get by on 1 stock for a while.
Which is what almost happened to us when we had a Little Mac come out of nowhere and take out Tyler and me, and we got scared and lost round 2. So we did a best of 5. It all in all took about 2 hours. It was a lot of fun. It was very intense. A little bit of like both podcasts admitting that they were nervous off the bat. Like we won 1, they won, we won, they won, then we won the last round 5. It came down to the last fighter. Tyler wrapped it up. He was fighting against Villager. He was playing with Byleth. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you killed it with Byleth.
So it was a good time. We're going to do it again. If there are any other podcast crews out there that want to organize a similar thing, we'd definitely be down for it. If you missed it, which you probably did, you can catch the video going up sometime soon. Sometime soon.
It's good and it's fun. And you can see me, because that's the day I woke up sick, so you can see me sick. But I had a cool shirt on,
So we did that Saturday, and what we do every Sunday is we stream Super Smash Brothers on Twitch, and we invite the community to join us. And we've had a few return people, which has been really good to see. Mellow Keith.
Yeah. Mellow Keith schooled me. That's who it was. Yeah, he schooled me with that.
Oh my God, he was schooling all of us with Mega Man.
He was so good. Mellow Keith was great. You're just joking about that too, Mellow Keith. You're a good player, and I like playing against you, and I'd like to do that again soon.
Yeah, for real. So it's really easy to do. Just if you're a Smash player, we are kind of
Smash.
It's kind of a lot. It's becoming almost a Smash like podcast /
Smash
unit
cast.
because we're planning this tournament. But we got other games to talk about. Don't worry. A lot happening in the next gen rumor mill and fact mill. Phil Spencer put out a pretty big blog post, which we'll get to in Cruising for a Newsin'.
Phil Mill, coincidence?
As well as coronavirus related stuff keeps affecting the industry in negative ways. I don't know how it could be positive, but anyway, if you didn't know, this is a weekly video game podcast where the usually four of us get together and talk about, you guessed it, video games. I've already said when you can get the videos. I think it's time that we now get into the games we have been playing for the past week. All right, Anthony, you want to start us off? We got a Snack World update.
Yep. Actually, my boss wasn't in yesterday at work, so I did the best employee thing to do is bring your Switch into work and play for most of your shift.
Nice.
So I played a lot of Snack World. That was fun. It's definitely getting better as you get farther into it, but
give a brief synopsis on what the game is.
it's basically a top-down action RPG that's basically kind of Diablo style with a little mix of Pokemon and a little mix of what else? There's like a crafting system. You make your own weapons and stuff. You can buy your own weapons. A bunch of loot drops. It's basically Diablo and Pokemon with like a very cartoony Saturday morning cartoon style.
Yeah, I see the art style on the eShop, and it's given me. Did you already compare it to Adventure Time?
It's Adventure Time mashed with like the old stop motion Rudolph cartoons. I don't know if
Right.
But it's like really odd. But I find this really weird, like fucked up kind of like. I love it. I really like it.
What's the developer?
Level 5.
Level 5.
So they do like Ni no Kuni and Yokai Watch series.
Oh
for
wow.
3DS.
Okay, I did not know that. It just seems like a very. Well, I guess not a totally different thing. So they did this before Ni no Kuni 2 and after Wrath of the White Witch?
Yep, this actually, I guess technically it came out in 2015 out in Japan first on the 3DS, and then we got it in the West with their remastered Switch port. So we got the remastered Switch port of the 3DS game that had already been out since like about 5 years.
They must have done some pretty substantial things to justify, charging $10 more than probably cost on 3DS.
Yeah,
and
I think it's like $50.
Yeah, and it's on. I mean, how's it look?
It's great. I like it a lot, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, if you guys are craving a little Diablo style thing, if the price does go down too, if there's a sale, there's online play, there's multiplayer. You can trade items, which is great.
What is the multiplayer like? It's like Diablo? Like you're playing together co-op?
Exactly. It's basically like Diablo. Like you go into the dungeon, you have your character, your equipment, your armor and stuff. You have these little partners that go in with you when you're playing single player mode. I'm not sure if they work in multiplayer. You probably have like one or two, but they're called snacks. They're like party snacks or pocket snacks, or like ones you can summon. And they're like your other players that like when you do solo, you can take up to 3 when you reach a certain like kind of like hunter rank, like Monster Hunter. I'm at DC. It's called DC rank. I'm at DC rank 5 right now, and it like goes by chapter, I guess, in the story. So I can take up to 3 little monster guys with me into the dungeon. And it's pretty cool. And what I do really like is that.
Did they have boss fights?
Boss fights, yep. The boss fights are really cool. They're a little simple, but they have the nice little, not like monotonous. There's patterns you can learn, so it's like, oh, he's going to do this or jump out of the way, classic stuff. But if you stay on one floor in a dungeon for too long, this guy called Popsicle comes and it'll let you know. It's like, oh, hey, alert, Popsicle's 60 seconds from appearing, and you're like, oh, what's that? Because that's what I did the first time.
Popsicle.
And he's just this big Grim Reaper guy that shows up, kind of like the Reaper in Persona 5.
Yeah.
And if he sees you, it's an instant. If he sees you and attacks you, it's a one-hit KO instantly, no matter how tough you are. So it kind of gives you an incentive not to stick around on one floor for too long of a dungeon.
Okay, I like that. Keep the player moving.
Yeah.
I am kind of craving that after Children of Morta, which I talked about for a couple weeks, and I really, really enjoyed. It took me about 12 hours to beat it, and I do find the post-launch or the post-game content a little lacking. Not that every game needs it, but I think that they're going to continue updating that. throughout the year. That's what it seems to be the case. That I'm on the Reddit. It's only got like 2.4 thousand members, I think, but it's got a little passionate fan base, and I like to see where it ends up going.
It did just drop for physical copy. I saw on Sunday. I was at GameStop. They have physical copy for Xbox One for $20. I'm not sure on the PS4. It's on PS4 too, right?
I think so. I know it's on Switch, and I know it's on Game Pass, so you can try it for free. That's Children of Morta. And remind me again what the full title of the game you were talking about is?
Snack World: The Dungeon Crawl Gold.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's this big, fancy, long title. But yeah, if you like a little cartoony art style, it's been pretty fun. I liked it a lot.
Nice.
Grinding my character, getting little weapons and stuff. Little cutesy shit.
Cool. Sounds right up your alley.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of right up somebody's alley, you've been doing any more dreaming?
No, I've not been doing much more dreaming. I mean, since last week, I have dabbled a little bit in like sculpting and shading and some of the other tutorials, but I haven't really gone in and developed anything for myself. It's very,
seems like
very
a whole
complicated
endeavor to like.
Oh yeah, like you
have
really
to like
need
sit
to
down, like wake up, have a cup of
submerge
coffee, and like
yourself,
spend a day.
Yeah, I mean, you can spend much longer than a day, I'm sure. I mean, I would be curious, and I would like to do this at some point, is just like go on Twitch or somewhere and just like watch people creating things, and maybe like asking some of them like for tips on how they do it. Because I mean,
Be a good thing.
I'm
for
sure
this
there,
game, too.
I'm sure there are all kinds of tricks about buttons and ways to like move the controller, or maybe people suggest that you use the sticks or like the motion controllers, because those are the three different ways that you can control your imp, with either the DualShock motion controls, or you can use the move controllers, or you can use the left and right sticks.
And what's been your favorite?
I've really only messed around with the DualShock.
Okay, with the DualShock motion. Okay.
And you have since you have the PSVR, you also have the move sticks.
Yeah,
is
I
what
have
it's called?
the motion controllers. Yeah.
I was hearing this week, I watched a review on it, that they were saying that that's kind of like, some people preferred that, or he really liked using the like the analog sticks with, I think you use the motion, right?
Yeah.
The access, but he said like, you know, these he really preferred kind of using for certain tools, certain like controllers. So I mean, that'd be cool to. I wonder if you can switch around on the fly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can. I mean, I'm not sure. You might have to turn a controller off or something.
Yeah, you don't have to
Yeah.
start a new game or anything.
That's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
not be like, well, I gotta put this in. I don't know, anything that's not plugging out and I'm automatically off. It feels like it's a whole endeavor to get out of the system.
So any Dreamiverse browsing, or are you mainly just practicing your Smash skills, getting ready for the tournament?
Yeah, I've been practicing Smash mostly, trying to get good with Pac-Man now. I feel like I've kind of like given up on Inkling.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know.
You
Like,
should keep Inkling in the pocket. I think you do really good with Inkling. You put a lot of practice in, so it's like you should still go back to Inkling, I think.
But with Inkling, you have to rely so much on that rolling move. Like, I don't know. I guess.
I mean, you don't have. I don't have to, but it's just
out
like
of that and then use your opportunity. It's all the small window for like them when they're stuck in the ground to like smash them.
For sure. I mean, he's a cool character.
And then it's all about figuring out combos. Like Pac-Man actually like doesn't have a whole lot of combos, and he's just a matter of like how to using the items and everything that he has.
A key.
Yeah.
What do they call it? Fruit looping is what they call it.
Really?
Yeah.
So when
That's
when he takes that out and when he extends his hand and it's cycling through items, do you have to stop it? I've never literally played Pac-Man, I don't think. So how do you decide on like to pull out the key or the apple or whatever?
Well, the key's always the last item, so it'll stop at the key.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like a charge, right? You hold down B, and the longer you hold it down, the more you go through.
Yeah. And then Pac-Man also, I mean, you can, when you're charging, you can roll to stop the looping. You can shield to stop the looping. Once you throw an item, some items can be picked up again after you throw it.
Right.
In which case, if you press B and shield really quickly, then it goes back into your pocket and you can start the loop from that item.
Well, that's good. That's a nice
I
cancel.
learned about that one. So yeah, it's like Pac-Man's just like a very high IQ character in
And
general.
of course, that's perfect for you.
I mean,
You're a genius over there.
no, I mean definitely not. Definitely not. But I'm trying to get better.
Yeah.
The fire hydrant you gotta watch out for, because that's like, if that gets donked, then you're pretty
Yeah, then,
open.
like,
It hits you too.
The fire hydrant itself has like so much strategy behind it, because you can use the hydrant to push you towards an opponent, so you could start charging a smash beforehand, and the water pushes you towards someone if they're not really expecting it. You just smash when you get there.
Okay.
Or vice versa, they'll push an opponent towards you, and then you can smash as they're like coming towards you.
And it also changes your hitbox entirely if you're standing on it, because if you're on somebody's below you on a platform, they can't probably hit you with their up smash anymore, and just like little things like that. I've definitely had that thought that like, that fire hydrant has just such a wide variety of uses, and that's the B down move.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
So yeah, it's good for like edge guarding. If someone's below the edge, you can toss a fire hydrant down there.
Spike them,
Cool. I'm kind of stuck in my Young Link, Mega Man limbo, and I can't I'm not very good. I mean, like, I'm okay. I feel like Kenny, Tyler, and Anthony all just have a better grasp on the characters that they use. Like, he's really good with King K. Rool. Tyler's good with Inkling and Pac-Man, and Kenny's really good with Joker. And I'm kind of like, I have my moments, but I don't know. Just need to practice
watching,
more.
I have to do that too, because I'm still like, compared to like when I was fighting Mellow Keith, like King K. Rool versus Mega Man, I was like didn't no contest. He's just like whipping me. I think like the match was over in like maybe half of a minute, 45 seconds.
Wow.
It was just like bonk. I'm like, wow, he's really fast. I know like one of the things that I do bad, or I like can improve on, is I jump in the air a lot to like get away when I should probably stay on the ground and roll shields more, because when you go in the air, you're just like vulnerable.
Yeah, and it takes longer to start up again when you land.
Exactly. So it's like, oh shit. But I mean, you're doing really good with Young Link. You had those in the team brawl that we did, the clan
crew battle,
yeah. I think of Call of Duty. But yeah, because Link's the 3. Because I'm telling you, man, the 3, his up smash, the third one always gets you.
Yeah, I mean, I do. It's really tough. Both characters, I like their arsenals quite a bit, and I like their size. They're like the same size. They're about the same speed.
There's a channel I'd recommend. I just remembered Beefy Smash Dudes on YouTube. You want good tutorials, or like good. They show you like really good combos and kind of like where the character's strength for each character.
Okay.
Like what good things to do, tilts and all that.
The things I noticed with like you with Cave Rool is like when you are recovering, I feel like you land on stage a lot. In which case, like, that's easily punished.
Oh, for sure. So I shouldn't like land.
Which you'd land on good edge grab?
Yeah.
Edge grab.
I mean, unless you are sure that you can land far enough away from.
That's a good point. See, I never thought about that. When I'm like always, the first thing that goes through my brain, like autopilot, whenever I get launched off stage, I'm like, shit. I always go, like, point my stick, depending where I get launched, like this side or this side, like down to, like, immediately almost like in the opposite direction. Because sometimes it does have that, like, hold on, when you see somebody get launched when it zooms in and they kind of recover from that, usually it's like because their stick's held the opposite way. But my immediate thing is like, oh shit, I gotta get back on the stage. But that's definitely way better idea to go right to the edge and kind of work it out from there rather than landing back in and then being like popped right back out.
Yeah.
Right. And things like I've noticed with like you and Pac-Man is I think you just need to practice more of like.
You mean Link? Young Link?
Or Mega Man?
Mega Man, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Mega Man. Okay.
I think what you need to just practice a little bit more is just like your short hops, like your fairs and bears and stuff like that.
Have you tried playing with the tilts map to your C-Stick on GameCube?
I have that. I just never do it.
I haven't even. I say that all the time. I have to like map it. I haven't even done that yet. So I'm sure that'll.
I mean, that seems kind of hard to be like. You pretty much slapping the X or Y button and then going over to the C stick like really, really quickly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Or you can use your wired Pro controller too. You can set it to that.
True. Okay. I mean, I'll experiment. I tried playing with the Pro controller last night after playing with the GameCube controller for 2 weeks. It feels.
Yeah, it feels weird.
It feels very weird. It is like, it is now. It's GameCube controller or nothing for me with Smash.
That is understandable. Yeah. That's what I've been switching it up. I also still have to pick one dang old character because I like too many.
Yeah, for real. There's so much. There's probably 20 of them I still haven't even really played for more than a few minutes. Moving on to the next game, I want to talk a little bit about Fortnite. Fortnite, just season 2, chapter 2, finally began last week, and I think it's exactly. It's like a spy themed season. They've introduced a whole sort of hideout theme, where instead of the sort of the loadings or the menus that you've been used to now for the 2 or 3 years, whatever, probably 3 that the game's been out, you're now in you got a bunch of secret agent looking people. There's a big table that has all the challenges. All the challenges are now separated by locations on the map, which is really helpful. There's also, go over all the new features that Season 2 has. So there's this one character called Mara that is, just a skin, a cool looking Fortnite-esque character. But as the season progresses, each week you unlock different things to customize on her. So week 1, I think was maybe her tattoos, which, or week 1 was hair, week 2 was tattoos, and that's all that's been out. And like next week, there'll be a bunch of pants that you can choose from. The week after that, a bunch of shirts. So like by the time the season's over, you'll have like a fully customized avatar, which is kind of neat.
Do you have to buy any of this stuff, or like?
Well, you have to buy the battle pass.
Oh yeah, okay. But I mean, when you unlock it, like say, like I go and buy the battle pass. Weeks go on, I automatically get these rewards for it, and then can make my own.
Yeah, I think it's just you have to play it like pretty minimally because I can't remember the exact requirements of unlocking those, but that's one neat thing that's been introduced. There's another sort of neat choice-based thing that is in the battle pass. Once you get to level 20, you can choose between these two big-looking agent dudes. One of them's in like an all-white suit with like a black skull. The other one's in an all-black suit, and it's the skins you'll unlock for the rest of the season are dependent upon the choices that you make at level 20. So that's kind of a fun extra layer of choice that this season's introducing.
You have to like pick a side, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Choose a side. So I've enjoyed that little gimmick. In the gameplay itself, there's now these several little fortresses with patrolling guards that you can, shoot. They're very easy. You can like then pick them up and have scan these special chests that will unlock usually really good items. So that introduces a PvE aspect that wasn't in season 1. They've had it in previous seasons back when it was chapter 1, but.
How'd you get the Banana Man costume?
That's like the level 2 in the battle pass. So if you buy the battle pass, you'll get it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I did like that a lot. I was like, oh, fuck, did he get a cool Banana Man costume?
Yeah, the Banana Man's kind of like the equivalent of the blue goopy guy from season 1, I guess. Mm-hmm. But I'm still having fun with it. I'm still, improving my building skills. My friend Robbie is like he's ridiculously good in the game. And I watched him play the other day. He got 12 eliminations and a victory royale after not playing for weeks. And I was like, damn, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Rob the builder.
Yeah, literally. Robbie's killing it.
Yeah.
Damn.
So that's Fortnite. I'm still having fun with that. I know it's played out. I know it's super mainstream. I know it's uncool and for little babies, but whatever.
I like Kirby's Air Ride. I like baby games, so I'm on your side. I do have to say, I really like, I'm a sucker, that's why I played Call of Duty 2, just for this aesthetic feature. The EXP bar on the bottom, just love it. I love having that.
On the bottom of the screen in Fortnite.
From World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, Fortnite uses it now. I'm like, just every time I see that, love it.
That is very nice. I love seeing progress.
See, me too.
Right in front of you.
I think that's why I like RPGs so much, because I can see my numbers going up and I can see my bars filling. I'm like,
And the battle pass fills up really, I think, at a pretty good pace. Like pretty much every game, if I'm not getting a level, I'm almost getting a level, and I feel like this might be the season where I finally get to level 100 and get the last.
Is that
guy.
the max?
Yeah.
What level are you now?
Like 14.
That's good. We gotta bump those numbers up, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I intend to do.
It's true.
Okay, so now, as I get a drink of water here, I want to talk about a game that actually came out in 2018, and it came out on January 23rd. 2018, so it is now 2 years old. But you know what came out on January 25th, 2018? Can you take a guess?
Starts with
a C. Tyler and I have both beaten it.
Chrono Trigger.
Shovel Knight.
Yeah, Chrono Trigger came out in 2018. It's Celeste. Celeste came out.
Oh wow.
Okay, so Celeste was a indie 8-bit style platformer that really took the game world by storm, made a lot of Game of the Year lists at the end of the year 2018. It is a phenomenal platformer. I would say one of the standout indie games of the past decade for sure. This game,
we're going with this, Wiley.
Iconoclast, came out 2 days before it. Iconoclast,
Overshadowed.
it got overshadowed by Celeste. I think pretty much all the discussion of it, not that I don't know if it was a bomb or whatever, but it did not get anywhere sort of near the acclaim that I think it maybe deserves after my first couple of hours with it. It is a very colorful Metroidvania 2D action platformer with a much higher emphasis on story than you typically see from this type of game. Like you play as this mechanic named Robin, and Robin is thought of as sort of a heretic because of her mechanical skills. It is a society that is ruled by like religious zealots and are very big on control and
So she's like Jesus but with a wrench.
Jesus with a wrench. There you go. I like it. That's what they should have called the game, and maybe it wouldn't have been so overshadowed.
It would be great. Instead of a bandana, could have given her a crown of thorns.
Somebody would have covered it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I picked it up for $9.99 on Switch. I can't confirm that that's still the price, but it probably is. And what I'm really liking about it is that the movement's really snappy. It's got a neat mechanic, like an edge grab mechanic where you don't see in a lot of 2D games that works really effortlessly and smoothly. It seems like there's going to be a decent upgrade system as far as the weapons go. The puzzles have been involved, not too crazy. I hear that they get like really tough later on, but so far nothing that's been making me bang my head against the wall too far. The only time I've been frustrated is when I just kind of needed to do a little more backtracking than I would have liked to find the next area to go. The boss battles so far are kind of set PC in a good way. Like they really elevate the action. They introduce, they're a little bit predictable from the attack standpoint. You gotta dodge at this point. You gotta throw this item at this exact time. But they are a little longer than a lot of boss battles in this game, which like works in its favor because I think they're fun. Like a lot of times boss fights, I like want them to be either replayable or I want them to last longer than the 30 seconds to minute that they do. These can take a few minutes, or at least they did for me, and pretty positive on it. Like, I mean, I'm only 2 hours in, so I'm still in like the honeymoon phase. I'll probably run into some issues. I think the game's got like a 90-ish and I think it's at 87 on Metacritic, I want to say. I think I checked that earlier today.
Pretty good.
And really positive Steam reviews. So I really recommend checking it out if that's your type of thing. It's definitely one of my top genres. So that's Iconoclasts. It's on Switch, PC. It's on everything. And it's only $10 on Switch. So that's why I picked it up.
Yeah, that's a good deal. I definitely want to install it now because I've had it on Steam for 2 years and haven't touched it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it tonight.
Yeah, I'll definitely need a game for when I'm getting ready for the cruise and driving and stuff.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend playing while driving, but no. Just kidding.
In the car.
I'm a passenger.
Yeah. Do you get car sick? Because I can't play like it sucks. I'm so lucky.
No.
I get so car sick. I'm like, oh,
I just very rarely do it anymore. I don't know. Like I think I'm probably driving 75% of the time.
I'm usually always driving. So
yeah.
But like the off chance where I'm just sitting there, it's just like I don't know what it is, but I'm usually like, if I look down for more than like maybe 10 minutes, it's just like instant. I'm gonna have a bad time for the next like 45 minutes.
The thing that I'm really into these days, I know this is going off topic, but is Stephen King audiobooks. So if I'm on the road, that's what I'm doing, or I'm maybe listening to Kind of Funny or maybe Giant Bomb. But
that's what I gotta say.
I used to listen to like 6 video game podcasts, and it was ridiculous. I had to cut a few out of rotation because now getting into the literary stuff a little bit more. But yeah, I'm in the car a lot for my job. I'm a social worker. I do visits all over the city. And I got a half-hour commute to work. So I put a lot of miles on that 2003 Pontiac Vibe.
He's a good boy.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
You're listening to stuff. You're expanding your horizons. See, I'm what people call a coward, and I don't experiment with things. So I always listen to the same shit over and over and over until I want to basically go crazy. And then when I'm at the point of jumping, then I'm like, wait, no, this is something new. And then I wear that out. And then, that lasts another couple weeks.
So what do you listen? You listen to things like, you listen to the same show? Or you listen
the same anime openings, the same, video game soundtracks, me coughing.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
But no, I could really like start getting back into like new albums and like that's I podcast.
Nice.
Audiobooks would be a really good idea.
Ooh, new episodes of Haikyuu have been dropping. I just caught up with that.
I'm gonna have to watch. I went after I gotta watch Food Wars 2 after we did that preview the other night.
Please.
Oh, I need to.
Yeah, I'll be delving into Food Wars soon after watching what Tyler showed me.
That's good. Yeah, you'll really like it, especially being a chef yourself.
Being a foodie.
Yeah. Speaking of anime openings, what's your favorite My Hero Academia opening?
Ooh, I can't
One,
really
2,
recall.
and 4. No, not 4. 1,
But
2, and the
each
most
one
recent one.
well, each season has 2, so there's really been like 7 by now.
It's true. I'd say.
It is hard to remember them.
I think season 1 had the same one. The first
I
one.
think the season 2 one was like
Yeah,
that one.
signed by that. Yeah, I love season 2's opening. It's awesome. But
Yeah.
Sports Festival.
and the season 4 one. I really like the second one.
Mhm.
I don't think I really cared for the first one. Or no, season 3.
Mhm.
The first one was like a little too poppy and it had like auto tune in it. And then the third one rocked, or the second half that was pretty rocking.
That actually got me to. I ended up hearing a cover of the first opening on YouTube by a guy, Nate Wants to Battle, years and years ago before I started watching My Hero Academia, and that's what actually made me end up going and checking out the show. And I was like, oh wow, it's pretty great. But yeah, like 1 and 2, I'd say probably my favorites.
The show is just taking off in terms of merchandise I'm seeing everywhere.
Oh my
I mean, you
God.
see me wearing the shirt.
Yeah.
Right.
I got this at GameStop. It was only $2 because of the power up. Like it was $7 clearance, and then each month, if you're a power up member, you get $5 now.
right.
And
True.
so when he rung me up, he was like $316, and I was like, what?
Xbox 360.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. They really got some good shit at the clearance at GameStop. Like they have some good.
They got a lot of cool stuff. I was like, oh, of course I have to stop working at this place when they start selling toys and trading cards and cool stuff. I'm like, oh man, come on.
Yeah, people hate on GameStop, but I will not. Like I like going there, and each time I'm there, I'm like
Same.
fighting to not buy shit. So
Same. I'm glad I don't work there anymore, but I love going in there because you get to look at your amiibos you could possibly, consider buying.
Yeah.
There's trading cards. I actually just bought Pokemon cards there on Sunday. That's why I was there. And the Division for $5.
And yes, it is annoying when they ask you, do you want consumer protection on this for 2 years in case anything happens to it?
No, I'm not a dumb baby. I'm going to eat the cartridge. Or maybe, but God.
Yeah, but it's funny. They always phrase it the same way. In case anything happens.
Yeah, they always sit there like, in case anything happens. And I'm like, I just got out of bed, man. Come on.
Pull a sharpening knife in front of you, just in case anything happens.
You wouldn't want anything to happen to him, would you?
You know how much dogs like to chew on discs?
Sir?
No. That was.
How'd you know I have
Kept that going for one joke too long.
Calling me a dog.
You calling me a dog, or how'd you know my dog?
We got a lot of video game news to talk about this week, so I want to wrap up. I beat Kentucky Route Zero. It's really good. I teared up at the end. You should play it. All right, and now we are moving into Cruising for News, in the part of the show where we talk about the biggest video game stories happening in the video game world, the ones that moved us, that we decided to share with you so you could be better informed and entertained. And we have a big one leading off the Cruising for a News and team this week. This comes from Phil Spencer
Pin blog post.
from news.xbox.com. Now we're going to be, this is a lengthy article. I don't want to necessarily read every word, but it's all about the Xbox Series X. We got some more concrete details about the specs and features, and why don't we just dive into it. Xbox Series X is our most powerful console ever, powered by our custom design processor, leveraging AMD's latest Zen 2 and RDNA 2 architectures, delivering 4 times the processing power of an Xbox One and enabling developers to leverage 12 teraflops of GPU, graphics processing unit, performance that's twice as much as an Xbox One X and more than 8 times the original Xbox One. Okay, so now I'm going to go over some more specifics about the things that he's talking about. Our patented form of VRS, which stands for variable rate shading, empowers developers to efficiently utilize the full power of the Xbox Series X. Rather than spending GPU cycles uniformly to every single pixel on screen, they can prioritize individual effects on specific game characters or, more important, environmental objects. This technique results in more stable frame rates and higher resolution with no impact on final image quality. Sounds like more work.
It's
more work for these developers.
Yeah, it's just pretty much like, say, like the grass, if in a game is like, oh, look at the, or like Skyrim was freaking out the Skyrim mods, it's like, oh, look at the shading on the water. It's like kind of like,
It's like you can make the water let's just put everything into the water. Everything else looks like shit.
Yeah, it's
the most realistic water ever.
Honestly, I was cool with the Wind Waker water. I like that style. I thought Wind Waker water was nice.
That was great.
I like it. Exactly.
It fit with the style.
Even like the Wind Waker smoke too, like all the bomb smoke. Oh, I love that effect.
Everybody loves the Wind Waker style now.
Every game should just be Wind Waker style.
You're not like preaching to. You're like on a soapbox, but you're preaching to the choir.
It's true. We're on the same level. I know. It's. I just wish they'd make it one that wasn't on the DS, a sequel to it that didn't suck.
Oh, the Minish Cap?
Not the Minish, the Phantom Hourglass and that other one, the one with the train.
Oh, Spirit Tracks.
They're just, I thought they were bad.
Oh, I thought whatever. Okay, next part. Hardware accelerated DirectX ray tracing. You can expect more dynamic and realistic environments powered by hardware accelerated DirectX ray tracing. A first for console gaming. This means true to life lighting, accurate reflections, and realistic acoustics in real time as you explore the game world. We've been hearing about this ray tracing for a couple of years now.
Yeah, from both Xbox and PlayStation.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and it's on the higher end PCs. It's available today. It's makes lighting look more realistic. So if there's a lamp swinging, it's going to be scarier in a horror game. And
yeah, it's really just like how light reacts with the environment. Like, so you'll see reflections off of, reflections that look different on, technically everything has reflective property. This paper has reflective property, but it's not like a reflective property like that glass. Or a mirror or a shiny wall or something.
Always nice for. Go ahead.
Oh no, so just basically just making it more realistic shading in a way. So it's kind of like
pretty much
bringing our games into like a Pixar level of like trying to.
Maybe so. That's what we've been trying to do since 1995 when Toy Story came out.
You got a friend in me.
Yeah. SSD storage. With our next generation SSD, nearly every aspect of playing games is improved. Game worlds are larger. He's assuming there, but more dynamic and load in a flash, and fast travel is just that. Fast. All sounds good. We've been knowing about this. Same thing with PS5. Both of them are going to have solid state drives. Quick Resume. The new Quick Resume feature lets you continue multiple games from a suspended state almost instantly, returning to where you were and what you were doing without waiting through long loading screens. That cool? Does that interest you guys?
Yeah, I like the resuming area is pretty good. I remember this whole kind of pick up and play or like extended no load times. I remember that being toted back on like PlayStation 2 when it was this game specifically from Level 5 called Rogue Galaxy, where they're like, all your characters are going to talk in real time, and they do, and they're like, oh, there's no loading between areas. There's huge areas that don't take any loading time. And that's also true. You don't have to really do any of that.
What's this game?
Fast traveling. Rogue Galaxy.
Rogue Galaxy for PS2?
PS2, yeah. They have actually a remaster on PS4, which I'd recommend checking out if it goes on sale.
Okay.
It's like PS2 classics.
Gotcha.
But it's basically kind of, I feel they at least used it as an excuse to like make everything kind of look the same. It was just like, it's a dungeon crawling game. It's an RPG, but it's like, every floor looks the same. It's like all the rooms are kind of like the environment's the same. You're really not getting more than like 3 different varied environments. Like, oh, this is a room with a log that's down. This is a room that's got grass on the side.
So you're saying that you don't buy this? They're just gonna make Rogue Galaxy for PS2 again.
But I really hope that they would learn to be like, okay, well, like we can advertise like, oh, there's gonna be no loading times between areas, but like make the environments wanna. It's like I want to explore that now that I don't have loading times, and that area is totally different rather than like, oh wow, get halfway through the game, it's like all these areas look the same.
I don't think we have to worry about that, but
it's true, not in PS2.
I appreciate your concern.
It's just like, no.
All right, next one. I think it's kind of cool because, and I only thought of this because of a podcast I was listening to earlier. It's like if you're playing a single player game, you want to hop into a multiplayer game because you get an invite, and you don't want to like shut everything down. Like I'm in the middle of a boss fight, maybe I'll kick it to you in 15 minutes. Now you can just have both going, and it seems like a nice thing. Dynamic latency input, aka DLI. We're optimizing latency in the player to console pipeline, starting with our Xbox wireless controller, which leverages our high bandwidth proprietary wireless communication protocol when connected to the console. With dynamic latency input, a new feature which synchronizes input immediately with what is displayed. Controls are even more precise and responsive. All sounds good. We all like low latency. HDMI 2.1. We've partnered with the HDMI forum and TV manufacturers to enable the best gaming experience through features such as auto low latency mode and variable refresh rate. ALLM, or whatever, allows Xbox One and Xbox Series X to automatically set the connected display to its lowest latency mode. VRR, which is variable refresh rate, synchronizes the display's refresh rate to the game's frame rate, maintaining smooth visuals without tearing, ensuring minimal lag and the most responsive gaming experience.
It kind of sounds like, what is it, the setting on Steam that I had to try to mess around with for a while because everything kept looking choppy. I remember it specifically when I was playing Devil May Cry 4 on my PC.
The V-Sync or something?
V-Sync, yeah, that's what it is. Is that part of it? Do you know? I think, because I never, that was honestly a random guess when I was playing. I was like,
I mean, it sounds kind of similar to like what it might be, because like that's kind of what V-Sync does, is like it reduces frame tearing, screen tearing, and stuff like that.
Yeah, because it was like super, like just kind of scrolling down like a VHS screen. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, so it could be similar, but I'm really not too sure.
I like the fact that it's going to like automatically make your TV go into the good gaming mode. That's a neat feature.
Yeah.
120 FPS support. With the support of up to 120 FPS, Xbox Series X allows developers to exceed standard 60 FPS output in favor of heightened realism or fast-paced action. Now, this supports up to, obviously not a guarantee, but just speaks to the beefiness. Where's the beef? Microsoft got the beef.
From Wendy's. Put it in the FPS. Ship it to gamers.
And then the next one's all about the backwards compatibility stuff. Our commitment to compatibility means existing Xbox One games, including backwards compatible Xbox 360 and original Xbox games, look and play better than ever before. Your favorite games, including titles in Xbox Game Pass, benefit from steadier frame rates, faster load times, and improved resolution and visual fidelity, all with no developer work required. Your Xbox One gaming accessories also come forward with you. That's cool. I did not know that. I just learned that reading that just now. Smart delivery. This technology empowers you to buy a game once and know that whether you are playing it on Xbox One or Xbox Series X, you are getting the right version of the game on whatever Xbox you're playing on. We're making the commitment to use smart delivery on all our exclusive Xbox Game Studios titles, including Halo Infinite, ensuring you only have to purchase a title once in order to play the best available version for whichever Xbox they choose to play it on. This technology is available for all developers and publishers, and they can choose it to use it as they see fit. This leads into the next story from the Twitter account at Cyberpunk 2077. Gamers should never have to purchase the same game twice or pay for upgrades. Owners of Cyberpunk 2077 for Xbox One will receive the Xbox Series X upgrade available for free when it is available. So,
it's pretty wild.
Pretty wild. Yeah.
Only buy one game.
Get
for Xbox.
Yes. So
I mean, I would like to take that like first sentence from Cyberpunk 2077 and just say, buy the game once and you have it everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
They fill up all the 120 characters in Twitter.
So I think this is a match made in, I don't know, good PR heaven with Cyberpunk and where Microsoft's been for the past couple of years. Both companies have a reputation. Lately, Microsoft, has been very consumer friendly with Game Pass, with all the $1 for 3 months type of things they've been doing, with the announcement which has gotten some mixed reactions, that the Series X won't really have truly exclusive games for at least a couple of years or 1 or 2 years.
But if everything else they're giving us, I mean, at this point, I've seen and heard more about the Series X than the something that wants to get me to buy PS5, where I have like this whole library already of Xbox, a couple Xbox One games, more so Xbox 360, and then original Xbox games. Like that alone is already putting me up there to like want to shift towards that.
Yeah,
I think they're doing a lot of things right in terms of the player base. It sounds like they've done a lot of their research. They've been doing all the right things with Game Pass, and I think they're doing the right thing, like getting so far ahead of Sony just in terms of telling people what the system's going to be bringing, so that the people who are committed to Sony are kind of thinking twice about whether or not they might want to jump ship or not.
They're waiting for the shoe to fall, I think, because you're correct. And our next story is Sony related, and they're pulling out of PAX, spoilers, but they are kind of MIA from the discussion right now. We had a couple Wired articles that were released last year that kind of gave the initial scoop, gave some details like the solid state drive, and it is backwards compatible with PS4. We know that. But yeah, I mean, the Cyberpunk 2077 thing, that's something that I was curious about because the game is coming out in September. The new consoles, we assume, will be out in November. Is it something that I would really want to purchase if I know that there's going to be like a remastered one coming out? But I don't have to worry about that with the Xbox One version at least. And do I think this is going to make Sony have to do the same thing? I do. I think this would be a big mistake if they didn't. I mean, this is a major... I mean, back when PS3, PS4 were transitioning and 360, Xbox One, there were a year or two where we were getting all the big games on both consoles. I mean, not all of them, but like Assassin's Creed, your Call of Duties, your Maddens. They had two SKUs, two $60 versions that you had to purchase. They did do like a neat thing for a few games. Like I remember Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I think if you put in the PS3 disc into the PS4, you could upgrade for $10, something like that.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. But this is cooler. So
yeah, way better.
Kudos to you, Microsoft and Phil. You know, even though you don't have any exclusive games announced yet that anybody cares about, we know that that's coming. I guess people care about Senua's Sacrifice. I shouldn't say that, but anyway, a lot of Xbox news. Now to move over to the PlayStation side where things are just sad and dreary right now. They are pulling out of PAX East. A 4-day event held in Boston is one of the biggest gaming conventions in the U.S., attracting tens of thousands of fans, and the biggest one local to us easily. We live in Springfield, Massachusetts. Sony had planned, or near there, to exhibit the highly anticipated exclusive The Last of Us Part 2 with a hands-on demo for the first time, but on Wednesday announced its withdrawal from the event. I also think they were going to play or have an FF7 demo.
I think Square's still going, Square Enix.
Oh, really?
I think that's still going. I saw an article when I was looking up other stuff for this today that, like, what Square's going to bring, unless they...
You could totally be
switched.
right.
I mean, I'd have to just double-check it, but, I mean, I think they might, just because they're Square. And
Yeah.
They have their own... They usually have their own booth, depending on, like...
Okay.
Just, like, Square stuff. Because they have all those figures and stuff as well.
Yeah, you're probably right. I just thought, since it's an PS5 or 4 exclusive that...
that's what I would think, too, is that Sony's part of the PlayStation family that they,
right.
So,
our friend Kenny is going to the show. Let me get on to the rest of the story. We felt this was the safest option as the situation is changing daily, Sony said on its PlayStation blog. We are disappointed to cancel our participation in this event, but the health and safety of our global workforce is our highest concern. PAX East will increase hygiene and sanitation measures in place. Kyle Martson-Kish, event director for PAX production team ReedPop, said in a statement that the team is working closely with the Boston Convention and Exhibition Center and following local, state, and federal public health guidelines, including those issued by the CDC, and it is saddened that Sony will no longer have a presence at PAX East 2020. And this is because of the coronavirus, about just concerns of international travel, people coming from, I guess... It's kind of hard to understand like what their fears are exactly. Like, is it because there's people at this event that are potentially coming from China? And I mean, I know it's not like as much of a global event as like an E3 or something, but it is still a big deal gaming convention. But I don't quite fully understand it. But I do think that this was not I do think that they're being genuine when they think that it was for safety. I don't think it was a decision that they like. Yeah, this was a tough decision because like they need to have a public presence in some fashion, and they're not going to be at E3. It's not a good look.
No,
but
it's not good to be pulling out like when Nintendo didn't show off they didn't bring much or anything to like Breath of the Wild or whatever for a couple years for E3 and all that. But I think it's a good call. They did the same thing. I think I told this on one of the podcasts previously, was that Toy Fair that my company goes to in New York. It just happened. I think today was actually the last day. They closed down they had a whole China pavilion because of like a lot of stuff's made in China, a lot of product and stuff. Mm-hmm. They shut down their whole pavilion. Like nobody from China was there.
Wow.
Just because of the coronavirus. So I think they're being cautious just because somebody who isn't sick yet could possibly bring over the bacteria or whatever with them, and then that's just an easier way to spread it.
Yeah.
But
gotcha.
At the same time, people are jerks, and people from the East don't want to deal with people out here making jokes about the coronavirus if they come out here.
True.
Oh, true. I mean, yeah, I'm past the joking part. Like, fuck, it's scary now. And leads us into our next story. Kojima Productions will no longer attend next month's Gaming Developers Conference. Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding design philosophy session canceled. Kojima Productions joins Sony and Facebook in opting to cancel their attendance at GDC, which is a annual game developer conference in San Francisco. Let's see. Do I really need to read this story here? Well, how other ways that it's affecting the industry? Notably for Nintendo, the gaming giant warned of Switch shortages in Japan. Alongside, Valve announced last week that it would have far fewer Valve Index VR headsets units on sale leading up to the release of Half-Life Alyx.
Ooh, that's gonna cause.
Which I believe they finally announced the release date for. I think it's March 23rd. There's also speculation that the repercussions of the coronavirus may affect the supply chain for the upcoming PS5 and Xbox Series X, should the situation remain as it is today. Whew. I'm going to be pre-ordering the second that it's up.
Yeah. Right. Be like, oops, well, this is mine now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just, it's also what, the media makes it. I feel like the more people, let me put it on a gaming perspective. Persona 5, you got mementos, you got everybody's everybody's mentality. The more something's brought up into attention in the media, the more it's going to get more known and the more it's going to kind of be overhyped as well. So it's like, I feel like it is good to have, pay attention and keep tabs on things, especially a deadly disease that's going around. But like, I feel like the more media hypes it up to be like scary, 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 rather than like scary, be safe, scary, be safe, kind of like it's basically like as crazy as we want to get. We hype it up to make it like what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like as long as we're just keeping an eye on it, not like, oh my god, world's gonna end.
It might. You never know. Just, I feel like
We'll wake up tomorrow.
I feel like maybe I have it.
I've been sick.
I feel I got a sore throat coming on.
I think I'm a catalyst.
I'm patient zero. I'm gonna have to be brought by airplane to. I didn't even watch DayZ. Can't even quote this. Can't even say it. I didn't even watch it. Pumba Poser. Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt DayZ.
Yeah, I think
Daisy.
so. Or no, he wasn't.
Yeah.
Is it Daisy or is it?
I don't know.
Is it the Z word?
The Z word.
No, it's not Daisy. It's what is it?
The game. You talking about
I know
that one?
No, I'm talking about the movie, and I think it is Daisy.
Dawn of the Dead. There's DayZ. Dawn of the Dead. Zombieland. I don't know. No, that's Sex Drive. That's Euro Trip. Okay, never mind. Those are two different other ones.
There's The Walking Dead.
Yes.
No.
There is.
Heard there was some like explicit sex scene on The Walking Dead.
Really? I
last
haven't
week.
kept up with it.
Yeah, like
in years.
I haven't watched it in ages.
I clicked on the headline like viewers got a weird or a rare sexual content warning before this week's episode, and
It's just two dudes in the shower. It's just showing their butts. It's just hey,
no zombies involved at all.
It's just them talking for a minute. What are we gonna do about all these zombies? I don't know, but you got a little bit of poop on your right butt cheek. Thanks.
Thank you.
I did watch that show for the first 7 seasons, and I do feel
7 seasons.
Yeah, and I watched it from the jump. I think maybe it is. It's in season 10 now. I think I started actually in season 2, and
I'm pretty sure I stopped at like season 4
okay,
Stop to season
or 3 or
1.
4.
well it still was pretty good. I got a little bit after Negan got introduced, and I do think it was messed up how he killed those 2 people like that. But
Spoiler.
anyway, moving on to our next story, Animal Crossing New Horizons. There was a big half-hour direct this past week detailing many new aspects of the game. So I took this from The Verge. They did a nice synopsis piece, which made it easier for me to relay it to our audience. The Animal Crossing series isn't exactly known for its bustling metropolises, but the island in New Horizons will be quiet even by Animal Crossing standards, at least initially. When you first boot up the game, you and 2 other residents will set up camp on a previously deserted island. Aside from nature and your tents, the only facilities initially will be the airport, where you can access multiplayer features, and Tom Nook's facility, where you buy and sell items as well as craft new ones.
Tom Nook, he's always there.
He's always there.
He's always there. He's just like ultimate hustler. But that doesn't mean it will stay that way for long. Nintendo says that new residents will eventually join, and more importantly, you'll slowly unlock major facilities as well. That includes series mainstays like the museum, general store, Taylor, and more. Similarly, you'll get access to a proper house after paying off your loan. Thank God. I did not want to live in a tent forever. I'm not an animal. Actually, yeah, I'm the only non-animal. It's not clear how or when these will eventually unlock, but it sounds like New Horizons will be a very slow burn.
For sure.
What is that? So there's more to this
A
story.
good thing or a bad thing? That's a slow burn.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, that's just the one writer's opinion.
I
But
just don't want it to feel. I remember, like, even with like the first couple Animal Crossings, it's like you boot it up. It's like, oh, I'm so excited. Like, the first night you sit down to play a game, it's like you set aside a lot of time. You're like, all right, I'm gonna dig into this game. I'm gonna play for like a chunk of solid hours. Like my first experiences with Animal Crossing is always like, okay, there's only so much you can do your first day because you have to wait for real world time to pass for either one events to happen, people move into your town, you to grow your town, to buy bells and all that, to pay off your like that.
yeah,
I hope it's like you can just go out, you can build up your little camp, and pretty much like I was getting big Stardew Valley vibes. So like, you dig up your little land, you make your little campsite area, put your tent down.
yeah. I think that there's more customization as far as your town goes and the area outside of your house, which is cool to see. I played the first game back in middle school when it came out for the GameCube. It was one of the few games that my sister and I were avidly playing at the same time. We both lived at the same town. It was called Game-A-Lot, if you were wondering. Yeah. And it would be really fun to go back and see the shape of that place.
That'd be great.
They're probably really worried about me.
Why? Where have you been? You've been gone for 18,000 days.
No, that was one of the sort of depressing things about the game is even if you would stop playing for a couple of weeks, your town would be overrun with weeds.
You get yelled at by everybody you meet.
Yep, exactly.
Stupid Rossetti would come and yell at you if you forgot to save the right way.
Or if you hit the reset button, he would be like, "That's not how life works."
Have you been playing with the internal clock? And it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry, man. Jeez, go. I can go get yelled at by my dad upstairs. I don't need you down here playing my games. Shit.
But yeah, this was kind of my first foray into that genre of like, it's a chill, customize your house, interact with your neighbors type of game, and I am willing to get back into it. It's been a long time. I have the 3DS game. For some reason, I bounced off of it. It just didn't really grab me. Maybe it was just the format of the 3DS, and I got it that late in its life cycle and only really got into a few games on it. But yeah, you guys play any Animal Crossing? Just besides what you just mentioned?
Yeah, I wasn't really before the Direct, but now, like, I mean, that also just, like, what I just brought up just appeared to me, too. I was like, that's another thing that could happen. But I do know, like a decent amount of people that are getting it, or if you guys get it, I'll probably end up getting it. But it's nice to, like, I could see it being as though it's like, okay, I'm going to go take a poop and play a game, but I don't want to play a very intense game. So I'm going to relax, maybe help work some things out in my body and outside of my body, and play that. I mean, just sounds like a nice game to sit in bed and, like, chill at the end of the day.
It's a nice game to just have.
Yeah.
You said that you can easily run out of things to do, or it's seemingly you can within sometimes half an hour or an hour. Maybe if you're like max grinding for fish or whatever, like
exactly.
2 hours. But it's a game that evolves. The seasons change. There's special events. It's not meant to be a game that's binged. It's meant to be a game where you chill and live your second life with your animal buddies.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence. I'll probably end up getting it.
I probably won't get it. That's because I like a lot of that instant gratification type thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I dabbled a little bit with Animal Crossing on 3DS.
Come on, Caitlin's gonna like it.
She might like it.
Yeah, this is one I'm definitely gonna try for Elena, and not to be. It's just it's one of those.
It's like The Sims, man. It's great. Girls love Animal Crossing.
They dig it. All right, so moving on a little bit more about Animal Crossing. There's a smartphone in the game. Sort of seems like a way to progress your missions. Like many modern games, the main menu in New Horizons takes form of a smartphone, or Nook phone, as it's called in the game. Man, he's even making phones.
Screw that guy.
He's like the Donald Trump of Animal Crossing world.
I wish he was a skin on Villager. I would like to mess people up with him.
With Tom, like that's a really good idea.
Yeah. The phone is naturally full of apps, each one corresponding to a specific aspect of the game. There's an app for the in-game map, for instance, and another that collects all of your crafting recipes. It's not clear how you get such good reception on an island in the middle of nowhere. Most notably is an app called Nook Miles, which ties into the next major feature. Without trying to sound too crass, Animal Crossing has always been about money to some degree. You move into a town and you're then immediately saddled with debt that you have to pay off. It's very true. Of course, there's no interest, so you're free to not pay it at all if you want, but you're going to want to because you want to upgrade your living space. New Horizons goes into a slightly different direction, one that will change the structure of the game. The Nook Miles app is essentially a collection of quests. When you do quests, you get money. So it kind of just seems like there's another way to
track progress.
Spend your time.
spend your time, track progress, yada yada. So that's all the stuff that I want to read from the article. A couple things that this game will not have, which is out March 20th, right around the corner. It will have no cloud saves, only one island per Switch, and there are ghosts at night.
Ooh.
Yes, those are the three things that I also wanted you to know.
I did like that when they showed that in the trailer. It's like, and you can meet a ghost, and it's like, ah, and then the ghost goes away, and I was like, that's pretty cool. We can talk to him.
Yeah, like if there's like little things like that Nintendo programs to like only be available on Thursdays at 2:30 a.m.
Oh, they definitely will.
Yeah.
Wasn't that like KK Ryder was only at the,
only Friday nights.
Yep.
I was like, man, I'm staying home. I got no friends, but at least he's here for me.
Put on Cartoon Network, throwing some Animal Crossing.
Here for
Yeah.
KK.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And the game looks really good, I have to say. It's got a very
does.
sort of like Link's Awakening remake,
Mm.
toyetic.
It does, yeah, exactly. And you can jump over gaps now. You can jump over the little like rivers and stuff rather than having to go all the way around like over a bridge.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, okay, that's a lot better. Plus, if you get like, there's scorpions apparently too that can sting you and you can get hurt.
Yeah, you could always get stung by bees.
You
Yeah.
get stung by bees. Apparently, they have medicine now you can take if you like are.
If you want to get rid of the big bumps on your face.
Yeah, you get the big bumps, and like the scorpion can like pretty much in Animal Crossing universe kill you. You have a guy like a group of people that come like off screen, fourth wall break, and like save you and bring you back to your tent.
Oh, wow.
I was like, whoa, that's scary.
That's pretty cool. One of the neatest things in the original Animal Crossing I just want to touch on is there were full-on NES games within the game that like you could collect and decorate your house. It would just look like an NES console.
If you had the e-reader, you could scan those stupid little cards in.
Oh, wow. Holy crap.
Remember that?
No.
Wow.
Not until just now. It's been deep down in the vault and you just brought it to the surface.
Oh yeah, those things are so rare now. Like just the packs of like unopened ones because they're just like two little paper trading cards that with the scan. Because Pokemon cards had them too. They had like the little it was like a long QR barcode you just scan into the e-reader and it would like give you a mini game on your Game Boy or Animal Crossing if you had the GameCube hookup.
Right. So the e-reader was an attachment to the Game Boy Advance.
Mhm.
Okay. And then the Game Boy Advance could be used as a controller for Animal Crossing?
Yep, you could connect it to the GameCube with that like the bottom part.
Oh, right. I remember
the
when
player or whatever.
when online gaming was becoming popular with a PS2 and Xbox, Nintendo was like, we're really focused on using the Game Boy as a controller.
We like couch co-op. You like the family, man. They don't let you go out and like play for Xbox subscriptions. Stay home and play with your friends. Crystal Chronicles.
Yeah,
Exactly. Can't wait for that to come out. That's gonna be fun.
It was super hard to find those in the game. I remember I played a long time and I only had 4 or 5. I think they had a total of 15
some
or
of them weren't
16.
even in the. You couldn't even get some of them. I know, like they weren't programmed for you to actually get them. You had to can only play them with like a cheat code to get the thing to show up.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
it's wild.
Very, very cool stuff. All right. So our final story, I'm going to let Anthony take it away. He's got some Temtem updates.
They released Temtem posted on their Twitter Humble Bundle is they published it or made it, I think.
They must have published it.
Yeah, published.
Yeah, Humble Bundle published it, but they put out a cool little like short-term roadmap that they have for the upcoming seasons for Temtem, which is pretty nice to see because I know a big concern of mine going into it was seeing that the game is still, I mean, it makes it very apparent when you boot it up, says it's still early development. The game, we're still, progressing and all that. It's not finished, but it's in a very good playable state. And I have played at least like an hour or two so far of it and have been really enjoying it. But they've kind of outlined from spring, summer, and fall 2020 what they're going to start rolling out with these updates. Let's see, the spring 2020, they're going to put ranked matchmaking in version 1. Spectator mode so you can watch other people battle, in-game chat so you can chat with other people, chat bubbles, and club management, which I'm sure is probably some kind of like in-game club stuff, like almost not clans but groups or whatever.
Okay.
Summer 2020 they're going to put a new island in the game, Kisiwa.
Kiziwa.
They put that in there. I'm not sure, I haven't even really explored too much far outside of the first area, which I'm really curious to see because it looks like it's a pretty big map. They're adding around 25 new Temtem, which is cool. Player housing, climbing gear, okay, because I actually came up to a cliff and it says, "Oh, if you have climbing gear, you can climb it." I'm like, oh.
That's not in the game.
now I know, like it's not in the game. No,
That's funny.
that sucks. But yeah, and then they're putting emotes, V2 emotes. So I guess they're redoing emotes then. And then the fall, they're going to be doing another new island, Sipenku. Around 25 more new Temtem. The first mythical Temtem, so like you get your Mewtwo's and your Mew.
Is this a Japanese developer?
I think it's a Western Crema, maybe Crema Studio.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know more about this game than me. Crema, they sound like Mexican.
Honestly, yeah, I'd never heard of it before. I saw some guys like reviews. Oh, the design of Temtem versus the design of Pokemon. I was like, what's Temtem? And then I think the very next day I talked to you and you're like, oh, did you see the new Pokemon killer Temtem? And I was like, oh, and checked it out. But it looks like it's gonna be. I mean, once I am kind of not upset, but like before I really want to sink my teeth into it, I want it to be like a full game, quote unquote. But I mean,
just do it.
Yeah, I want to get
do it. You get on the ground floor. You be doing the competitive stuff from day one when it's out.
There you go.
That's true. Yeah, it could be right up there. I gotta start doing the competitive stuff with Pokemon too. It reminds me. So get the more those guys are coming in soon.
That time has passed.
That time.
I gotta jump into this with you.
All right,
we gotta do something with this.
We do because I can see people on the map. I've been training my little stupid. I got a little cocoon guy now, and like he's just there, and I got a little grass turtle starter. It's neat. It's a great. The animation is very fluid. I think I've talked about it before, but they're just going to keep adding more stuff to it. In-game tournaments, quest diary. They promised coming up very soon is going to be a trading house, dojo wars. So I'm sure that's like a clan wars kind of thing, maybe. And then more details about endgame. So that's cool. Just that they're be like, hey, we're not going to leave you in the dark. These things are coming up.
Right.
So look forward to it. And it's, I mean, for a $40 price tag right now, it's like I might have to sink at least a couple more quality hours to judge. But
yeah, and I imagine like they're doing all this like while still in the background developing it for Switch and
that's true.
Was there another console they were gonna put it on? I know they're developing it for Switch though.
Yeah, definitely. Switch
Xbox Series X exclusive.
So,
probably.
No, just kidding.
So I imagine they're also rolling these out at the same time, having them ready so that when it does come to Switch in 2021, it's just like the full game.
Yeah, that'd be ready to just. Yeah, that's true because that's what they did with Portal Knights too. I think because we played Portal Knights, basically just like rounder Minecraft, and then they released the full thing and that came out on consoles.
Right.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And I think the real test for them is like how well it performs on Switch.
Yeah,
like that will be the deciding factor as to like how to compare it to Pokemon.
And
sure.
when Nintendo calls its lawyers and is like, we have a problem.
Hey, this is pretty much the same. It's weird because they follow it very close. It's like the typing chart's the same. They do all battles, which is different. But I mean, then again, Pokemon Coliseum did the same thing. Double battles. There's always double battles in whatever battle you get into mostly. And then the typing chart looks almost the same. Moves same way. You can only know 4 moves at a time. Have to forget a move if you want to learn more than 4 moves. They have their EVs and IVs, which in this game are called like CVs.
They're from Spain.
Oh, wow. See, you're close.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing great though, and I'm really excited to play more of it and see what they do.
Very cool. All right, anybody got anything else before I send this one into the books? Send away. All right. Thank you for tuning in to the Level With You show. Your support means a lot to us. It helps us keep growing. Please subscribe. Please leave us a nice review on iTunes or wherever else you'd like. Tell your friends. Share it on Facebook if you really even aren't into video games. It helps us out. Until next time, stay level.
Bye.
Bye-bye. We're still live.
We're still live. Oh yeah, we can't be like, hey, cut it.
Get back in the cage.
All right, everybody, just everybody pull their pants up. Put the butter back on.